Hey, Giada. How are you holding up after seeing those, plant people?
So, the Godless... Well, the Godless are so... singular. Their art and architecture... But in their artwork, they reference escaping, fleeing. My guess, they originally came from... Ah, yes, let me... Yes, well, I'll tell you. There was some kind of skit... Don't patronize me, darling. Well, rather, don't be... Don't mind if I do. There's nothing there.
Strike like you mean it. The time for standing by is over.
Can't do that.
Show the steel girl who built the living lab.
The envoy. Is that you?
Oh, Envoy. How good to see you here as we stand. I don't know if thank you is precisely what I want to say. Paradis burns from the torches of the Steel Garrote. Yes. What happens in Paradis now will decide...
What's the plan if Paradis falls?
We will find a way to persevere. We Bargrunen have a gift. Whatever the outcome of the upcoming battle, do not forget us. If Edir and the Steel Garrote have their way, they'll strip the history books of any future generations will only ever know us as an appendage of the Empire. I hope it doesn't come to that. It is all like... That's as much as I'll say. Do the...
Once the battle is...
The fighting has to stop. We'll do...
Envoy, how did you...
It's great to see you again, but... Where the fuck...
You just appeared out of nowhere.
There.
Once word about Paradis reached us, we were...
That's not important.
Right. Forgive me, Envoy. I won't keep you long. I just want to make as much as you can.
I'm holding you to your word, Envoy.
I could go with you.
Get yourself run through with the steel garrote longsword? No way. Off you go, envoy. There's a day to save.
It's not surrender. I'm offering you a envoy? Mihala told us you went into some place called...
When you didn't return, we took you for
Did you meet your god there? The one who's...
It's too preposterous to believe. How could a
Everyone, please, please. We could get to the bottom of this if you would only let...
It's been weeks, and...
Well, you might not believe me, but I didn't want it.
Yes, you've said that. Are we supposed to just take you at your...
It was Ludwine who called. She and her steel garrote laid siege to the city shortly after you...
You did. I kicked her corpse when you weren't looking. Just to be sure.
Well, she's seen better days, but you wouldn't know it judging by how she fights.
Ludwine's run through the militia.
All right, let's keep the simile.
Oh, cheer up. You wouldn't be the first to make that mistake. So long as her passion for Wodica lived.
Then we destroy her faith, and the rest... I have a theory about this. Let's talk at camp if you want to hear it. But I think...
Oh, good.
It is not, I think...
The steel garrote broke through several days ago. What citizens still live are no doubt in hiding.
You couldn't have known this would happen. Don't take the guilt of the steel garrote.
Some Paradisans got out, but...
Thirdborn still suffers, though you may have ended the plague, envoy. Many in Shatterscarps. I could bring no more than a handful when we heard.
Likewise, my wardens are still reeling from effects of the eruption. The keep was saved, but there is much to repair. Particularly if most of my men remain at the keep. I can't risk them against the steel garrote for the sake of Paradis.
Well, that's been a point of debate. We can't agree on how to stand against the steel garrote, nor who should lead the effort.
So you let the Paradis militia go it alone?
Even if our meager forces should...
The siege won't end until Ludwine does. And none of you know.
Precisely.
Because a victory here would discourage resistance elsewhere. The better question is, why didn't you stop her?
Excuse me? She's a 7-foot-tall skeleton powered by her devotion to the goddess of...
Sure. Just blame the dead woman. Very mature.
Who else should I blame exactly? Our envoy, perhaps? For not stopping Lud...
You could start with blaming your... Why are you treating him with kid gloves when...
Enough. I've heard your concerns. We can...
The Inquisitor was so convinced the Living Lands would unite against Adir that she's near one people, one law, one true god.
I can't wait to see how you...
I know it will. We are leading by example, returning order and dignity. We will do the same to the frontier, given the chance.
Where was order and dignity when the steel...
My administration had nothing to do with that. As I know, Adiran rule and rule by the steel garrote would be...
Spoken like a fucking diplomat. Splitting hairs when it all comes from the...
Order and dignity. That's what you think we're...
Isn't Paradis? It's port. It's trade.
What passes between Ludwine and her men, or between Ludwine and the Emperor, for that matter. But if I had to guess, this was the alternative. Ludwine agrees. Our success would model the order and dignity of the steel garrote.
Careful, envoy. Adir may still have a part to play, but don't let Lloyd...
When I think dignity, I think of the people who attacked Fior Messiverno.
The Inquisitor answers only to Wodica. In attacking Paradis, she has dragged us all far.
I've answered your questions. Now I would like you, all of you. Ludwig has sent a message to the Emperor informing him of her attack. He will send advice. What will his representatives find when they arrive?
Here we go. This is the conversation you meant to force.
I understand your frustration, but please, before you face Ludwig, you should know what you're fighting for. All of you must, but whatever you decide, understand, the days of the frontier are done. The Living Lands would become an extension of the Adiran. Soldiers bearing the flag of Adir would be garrisoned in every town. They would be paid in Adiran shelling and speak only the Adiran language. Their roads would be smooth Adiran roads. Their medicine would be hygienic Adiran medicine. And their weapons would be Our customs would become their customs. Our strengths would become theirs, turned toward a common purpose. No one, not Rawatai, not the Valian republics, not even a road. This island would be safe for the first.
The traditions of Solus are what give my wardens their strength. Without them, I would sooner walk my people into the acid sea than trust an Adiran dog.
The only threat I see on the horizon comes from Adir itself. You want me to thank this thief for protecting me from my perps? They can't offer us anything we don't already have.
Under my leadership, the city my father founded was nearly destroyed. Hundreds of people could have died or been left without a home. I may have failed my people, but it was your Empire's soldiers who made it so.
He would suppress our culture before it's had a chance to grow. Everything my people cultivated would be reduced to a footnote. If you have any love for this land, do not allow him to overwrite our history.
Rawatai built its empire from colonies like this. Many have become centers of culture and prosperity, backed by the protection of a strong navy. Of course, it can take decades to get there. And this road isn't an easy one. But Adir won't be the only empire eyeing this place. A formal agreement now could protect us from something worse later.
It shall be peaceful in that all dissenters will be silenced.
The Living Lands is a lot of things, but it will never be Adir. No matter how hard Adir should turn back now and save everyone a bunch of blessed trouble.
The Adir's promise. Flip our feathers as we find our wings. The deed binds as the wire binds. Out! Out! We were...
Of course. The Living Lands would retain its own laws under a grave appointed by the Emperor. The grave would be expected to promote and develop the Living Lands to our mutual benefit. They would divide the island into administrative districts and see them governed by mayors appointed from the local communities. The island would provide tribute in the form of resources and taxes, and in times of war, soldiers. The Empire, I should note, is nearly always at war. In return, the Living Lands would enter Adir's sphere of influence, and should outside nations attempt to invade, we would come to the Grave Room's aid. Naturally, that would be the Emperor's decision. Only the strong survive the frontier. But you were born to... Well, give the matter some thought. You owe that much to yourself, at least.
Subtle, pernicious. Touch the rot, yet the disease remains. Safety among spiders. When do they bite? When do they betray?
Tribute, he says. Taxes. Soldiers. The Empire has tried it all before. Look to the Eastern Reach if you don't believe me. They want to bleed us dry, to fill their coffers and fight their wars, to break us like wild animals. But I will not bend.
It's still a gamble, but I think it's the safest bet. We get the benefits of Imperial trade and protection without losing all of what makes this place special. There's no way of knowing what it would mean in another generation or two. But right now, it gives us the security and stability to recover.
We were fine before Adir showed up, and we'll be fine when they're gone. Trust the lands and her people, Envoy.
If we give Adir power over us, we can't be surprised if they decide to flex it later.
We give up our fighters and the wealth of our lands, and get promises in return. But we have wealth enough to give some away, if it means my wardens may return to their vigil.
A grave room wouldn't be my first choice, but we're going to need a hand with all the dream thralls left in Shatterscar. So if the Emperor's willing to pitch in, then
If a grave room will put an end to the fighting and allow my people, I suppose this is an arrangement I could accept.
Of course. Oh, Envoy, no. Do not suggest that lightly. Think of the Emperor. Ones which this conclave could not survive, fractured as... Not unless you came together and formed a nation of your... It would be difficult. No, impossible. Think of your people, all of you. Think of the lives at stake.
Though I'm hardly eager to work with any of you, I like the idea of twisting beneath Adir's boot heel even less. So long as the Wardens can continue our vigil, I'm open to uniting, if you are.
Thirdborn alone couldn't stand against the storm, but the might we could deter any but the most fearsome adversaries. And that's what cannons are for.
If we do this, I fear the Empire will revenge themselves on us in the home my people nearly lost. But if this is what this conclave wants, then Fior will stand beside.
We deserve our autonomy, even if we must fight for it. Anything less would be surrender.
Fleeing someone else's laws and authority is one thing. Setting up your own. We're an island of misfits and dissidents. We'll still have to surrender some of our autonomy, and we'll be vulnerable. Without allies, other powers will see us as ripe for the picking. Know that this...
We were fine before Adir came. We'll be fine when they're gone.
I think we ran things perfectly fine before your kin got here.
Rest into bounty. Does the winter... Many fruits on our back. Resist the blight. Drive out.
Well, let's not twiddle our thumbs. A fine comp.
The people of Fior will...
So long as my wardens are left in peace, we will...
Thirdborn will support a grave room.
I do not trust your empire to show restraint in its control.
We can worry about the future when it comes.
Right. Might as well go ahead and start designing those rebel flags sooner rather than later.
Good. We'll have perhaps a whole week of peace before the yokes.
I will do my level best to convince the Emperor to That leaves the matter of Ludwig and the Steel Garrote. You must kill her, or we will lose Paradis.
Whatever happens to the living lands, at least I can kill Ludwig.
She better say her goodbyes while she...
I'm proud to fight at your... The Paradis militia will be at your back. Give her no quarter.
When my homeland needed one, we all do what we must. Gods be with you.
Let's take back the city.
Time to stop.
That'll teach you!
Don't just...
It's all right. You're a better soldier than I ever was.
This shall be a bloody day.
Patience, dearie. That looked painful.
You're right.
You asked for it.
Someone's
Over here!
Just as good.
Hey!
Remind me not to make you mad.
Not doing the job.
Go ahead. I'll hang back and watch the gate.
Who's next? Anyone?
Welcome to the... It pleases me to greet you in full health. I thank you again for the medicine. You do. I traveled here for you, Envoy. When I learned of the events in Paradis from the dwarves as they march, I hear that you have chosen to defend the living lands. I will honor my life debt to you. I do not. I will live in isolation one way. Let us waste no more breath. I will leave you to the war now. You have my vow on...
You're pretty.
We were never going to go quietly, were we?
thought you left town weeks ago. We'll be fine. We're more stubborn than we look. I saw a few on my way here. I imagine they've been waiting for this to happen for a long... Listen, one of the Garot's units is scouting up ahead. Maybe 5 strong. I wouldn't want to fight them if I were you. Take this key. It'll unlock the gate to the canals. You can thank the... Why should I? It's all... I wish... well...
Envoy! I doubted I'd ever see you again. I imagine I could guess, but I must thank you once again for bringing me the Luminous Adra. Oh, it was wonderful. It was a complete... With some creative exploration, I was able to refine the Adra into a pool. Asking for handouts, are we? To be honest, I doubt it could so much as dull the pain of the wounds you've seen since we last spoke. I know you have much to do in town, so I'll let you go.
We should go now, while the fighting's died down.
Ah, they want to die that bad, can you not?
I thought it couldn't get any worse than the Dream Scourge, or that Oracle. Gods.
Stop right there!
Show me what you got!
Oh, big mistake!
Let me out!
We'll get them next time, dear. Keep quiet.
Mind you not to spook
Envoy over here. What exactly do you think you're doing?
Liviana?
You nearly died in my clinic. Correction, you did die. And now look at you. What have you got to say for yourself? Well, at least you're alive. Kai, is this your doing?
Come on. I couldn't have kept him out of the action if I wanted to.
I knew you were a bad influence. We're patching up folks as best we can, but I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. War is a damn... Yeah, stop the fighting. I can't say I approve of you leaping into the fray, but it's all. Gods be with you, Envoy. For my sake, try not to die a second time.
And stay down. Ludwine's lost it. She's hunting everyone and everything. Even me. For the living lands!
Another glorious battle.
Next one's mine.
We've taken the main plaza. I'll stay behind. Don't.
Freedom!
Let's talk at camp.
Wonica demands your submission. Stand against her and fall.
Let's pay Ludwig one final visit, shall we?
Lead on. I'm with you to the end.
She could use some payback for Naku Kuber, don't you think? Let's make sure she stays dead this time. All right, dearie?
There you are. So, you survived the garden. Did you come all this way just to try your luck again? To kill me more efficiently than last time? My will is stronger than death.
Of course, we are prepared to kill you as many times.
Death has no claim. Look around, Envoy. Heelguard should have listened. He tried to bring... He failed. Order is meant to be...
Her order is a strangling hand.
Heelguard is a fool if he thinks half measures will save the island. When this is over...
I won't weep for...
As for you, Sapadal's chains are broken, which means I don't know how deeply you've been compromised, Envoy. Do not patronize me. I have every... Steel yourself, Envoy. Make this a
Enrich the soil with...
My fate keeps me fair.
Let's finish.
You...
Once... Your god of...
Here we go! Give me target.
We are every seed in the soil. We will always grow.
Prepare. No more.
Come on! Let's get one last time!
Whoa! Queen among queens! Send me your aid! Listen,
Try that again.
help me! One last time! Go up! There you are! Your god of...
We've got company!
Take it off. Prepare. No more.
Come on! Let's kill her already! One time!
me one last time. And it wasn't wrong!
Give him just as good.
Go up 10! And it wasn't wrong!
Coming from your right.
Patience, dearie.
I felt that one.
Wherever Ludwig is now, she must be seething.
Of course, we'd be happy to kill her again, if needed.
She's done. But we're not. Whatever's next, we'll face it. Together.
Gods, you're all gonna make me sick. But carry on.
Unraveled at last. We no longer feel her wire against our flesh. We are free always. We are free forever.
Silence falls over Paradis, as though the city is holding its breath. Then you hear it, the ringing of a distant bell, the waving of banners, and cheers of victory. After a short and bloody conflict, the dust has finally begun to settle. You feel Sapadal close to your thoughts, stirring with interest. The god of the living lands is observing this moment, unfettered by confusion or fear. For the first time in centuries, they understand. The Paradis militia rallies to you, the outsider who defended them in their hour of need. Whatever happens next, you have won their confidence. You take a moment to reflect on the calm. Not so long ago, you arrived at these shores on a simple errand, which turned out to be anything but simple. The Dream Scourge is over, and the island has been cleansed of plague. A time of healing and mourning follows. People look to you for answers about the source of the affliction. You tell them the truth, how the plague came from a power beyond mortal understanding, and how it is finally at peace. With your guidance, the Living Lands becomes a vassal of the Adiran Empire. In exchange for their taxes and soldiers, the free settlements are protected from future attacks. The fight for survival is over. You showed the rebels of Paradis mercy, but they can never trust the Empire. Instead, they keep to the wilderness, always 2 steps ahead of Adir, only attacking when provoked. That is as close as they come to peace. The Oracle Sargamus emerges from the Temple of Aethys, unburdened by any purpose but for the one you gave him. He sets out across the living lands in search of the sick, lost and grieving, and he gives them the comfort of fellowship where he can. When his energy flags, he recalls the compassion you extended him, and he returns to his work with renewed devotion. His new labors cannot fill the hole left by his god's passing from the world, but they give him succor during the long hours of the night. He dies alone in the Deerwood, beloved of no one, but remembered by all he knew. He does not forget you. The refugees of Emerald Stair find a cold welcome in the city of Paradis. Animancy is frowned upon, but their knowledge of agriculture is highly valued. The first bountiful harvest improves relations. In time, the people of Emerald Stair return to their city of Fior Messiverno. Animancy still has a place in the living lands, but the Empire's disapproval gets in the way of progress. Their work is slow, but unstoppable. After so much chaos, the people of Shatterscarp find a moment to breathe. As a gesture of goodwill to its grave room, Adir sends a regiment to purge the remaining dream thralls still haunting the wilderness. But with the sound of Adiran cannons in the air, many Thirdborners wonder what their lives will look like when there is no longer a common enemy. After the Living Lands is declared a vassal of Adir, Solace Keep reluctantly opens the doors of its fortress, though not before numerous missives are sent to Mihala demanding the grave room be honored. Her reluctance costs the dwarves. The Pargrunen are never favored in trade negotiations, and are the last to be supplied by Adiran caravans. But the Wardens have rounder bellies than anyone can remember. For the first time in many years, Kai feels an agreeable restlessness. Not to flee, not to drift, but to venture. He visits the distant shores Tama told him about, and savors the modern marvels, ancient wonders, and breathtaking expanses he beholds. His heart swells, not with grief, but with awe. There is so much to discover, and he will spend his years chasing all of the joy and beauty the world has to offer him. With his travels alongside the envoy complete, Marius is left directionless once again. Rather than disappearing into his cups, however, Marius leans on his time among his companions to give him the strength to re-enter society and find comfort in civilization. He establishes a route between Paradis and Thirdborn, guiding travelers between the two in return for money and supplies. And while he has a reputation for being aloof, he joins the campfires from time to time, sharing stories of his time with the envoy that most travelers believe are completely made up. Giada learned much in your time together. How to stand up to authority, how to face the unknown, and how to move on from the past. But her family's unfinished work weighs heavily on her soul. Her inheritance is the burden of achieving the impossible. Such is the life of an animancer. At least now she has the right tools for the job, and new friends to help her through hard times. No longer under the threat of imminent death, Yardsley returns to the Animancers. Reunited with her beloved Quilici, she helps him and the Animancers as they put their lives together after the attack on Fior Messiverno. Eventually, she even has something nice to say to Vidaro. As the days pass in contentment and relative peace, Yardsley is struck by the persistent feeling that something is missing. Though she still devotes herself to her studies of both the arcane and the godless, the restlessness never goes away. Centuries of imprisonment and your guidance have changed Sopadal. Finally free, they create a fortress of their land. Where once spread open plains, they raise mountains. The bridges that connect the island's valleys, they dash into splinters. They regularly wash out and they drown the ports. The wilderness the settlements had held at bay overruns their borders and buries them in vines. Not one soul in the living lands lives free from fear of their god's wrath. But even as Sopadal builds themselves into the rogue god of Woedica's fears, the kith of the living lands persist. They are resourceful, and so long as Sopadal endures, so will they. Sopadal pours a fragment of their power into the statue they claimed from the temple of Aethys. Newly embodied, they roam the living lands and learn to experience the world as kith do. Their first attempts at locomotion are clumsy, and a stand of innocent trees is violently returned to the wheel. But as their confidence grows, so does their grace. Soon, they are bounding across the plains of eastern Dawnshore, leaping the river gorge in Emerald Stair, scaling the shark's teeth of Shatterscarp, and fearlessly wading into the Tusk's acid sea. When they break, they come to you to put them back together, and in time, they learn to fix themselves. They wander far afield. You see less of them, but they are never far from your thoughts. And on the rare occasion they return, they always bring you something beautiful and strange. The sounds of celebration pull you out of reverie. Many are waiting to greet you with open arms. You take a moment to catch your breath and savor it, because everything is about to change.
Eora, a world where mortals